My passion for helping others comes from the inspiration from my late father. I am Dr. Nashwa Najib, and I'm a proud alumna of University of Newcastle. After graduating, I worked frontline as an emergency medical physician. And while working frontline during the COVID-19 pandemic was equally challenging as it was rewarding. I've always had the passion to help other people, and working frontline, I was fulfilling my purpose. I traveled to the rural parts in India, and I set up medical camps over there. I provide free consultation to the patients, check their vitals, and provide them free medications. I also engage with them in talks where I bring about general awareness about the health and sanitation. During my time of study at the University of Newcastle, I developed a lot of different skills, including the skills of leadership, which I gained by successfully completing the iLead program and also being a volunteer. I also got the opportunity to attend various international medical conferences, which further improved my communication skills. This global experience helped me to gain the confidence and the courage to do what I do now.
So I was initially interested in working in technology law just purely out of intellectual curiosity. But as I moved through my career, I realised that technology has a real power to be helpful to people and shape their lives. And that really crystallised for me working for Google during the pandemic. My name is Rebecca Silberberg. Studying law at the University of Newcastle really instilled in me the idea that law has very real and practical consequences for people. 20th century laws don't necessarily solve 21st century problems. And so today, when I'm operating in the space between the evolution of technology and the evolution of the law, it's really important to be practical and pragmatic in delivering legal advice. One of the most valuable memories I have about the university is that it felt like a community. It wasn't just an academic institution. And I've really sought to foster that community throughout my career. Working in law, I was able to put my skills into kind of mentoring other young lawyers, whether that was from a career or legal experience perspective. And that, I think, is a value that was instilled in me from the University of Newcastle.
People are at the heart of research. Dealing with people, training people, and also translating that into the community so that people understand science is fundamental to everything that I do. I'm Dr. Aaron Elborne. I'm a lecturer, researcher, and Australian Research Council DECRA Fellow. My research focuses on using nanobiotechnology to solve problems. I get out of bed in the morning to help find better solutions to health problems, such as the antibiotic resistance issue within our current microbes and lack of treatments. I'm trying to solve the next pandemic before it happens. I'm passionate about fundamental research and translating that through to industrial applications, as well as mentoring research students to become the next generation of scientists within Australia. I'm extremely thankful for my time at the University of Newcastle and the skills that I've benefited from being there. I give back by trying to assist other students to develop their scientific skills, and also by speaking to students about what they can achieve with a degree like mine. My advice to students and researchers alike is to say yes. If you say yes, it opens opportunities and you'll be able to learn from the experiences that don't work while also benefiting from actually having a go.
Every small thing that you do within your network can affect change. My name is Fais. I'm a pilot, and I've been a commercial airline pilot for over 30 years now. I operate the Boeing 777 as a captain and commander to destinations in the United States, Europe, as well as Asia. I think giving back to the community is something that I'm passionate about. Our alumni members get to interact with one another sort of excites me, and it is the driving and motivating factor for me to organize such events and to basically communicate and connect with people. As the president of the Malaysian Alumni chapter, My role is to inspire and also encourage our members to volunteer in projects that I think they feel passionate about, so that they can basically expand their network, they can meet new members and learn from each other, and ultimately feel a sense of belonging to the university. I think that is important.
If there is an opportunity and you feel that it's aligned to your values, to your aspirations, to where you feel you might need to be in the short, medium and long term, then give it a red hot go. My name is Nyree Brown. I'm a Yuin Nation woman from the south coast of New South Wales. My entry into the medical faculty at the University of Newcastle was the most significant opportunity of my young life. It was part of a lifelong dream to study medicine, and the greatest opportunity, I think, in the stepping stones of my career. I've always had a particular connection to Aboriginal health and Indigenous affairs, but I'm particularly passionate about Aboriginal child and adolescent wellbeing, about cultural integrity, about the positive impacts of positive cultural practices in the life trajectories of our children. People talk of children as our future, but they're actually our now. So we need to be acting, loving, supporting, caring every aspect of our social context to make sure that our children and adolescents have the platform for greatness. My father's gift of my cultural identity was perhaps one of the greatest strengths that I've been able to carry forward in my life. When all else around you is tumultuous, try to remember that in fact we belong to the oldest continuous culture on the face of the earth. We're extraordinary.
Increasing the diversity of our legal profession, particularly women and First Nations lawyers, is absolutely critical if we're going to improve the social justice that we're able to provide as lawyers. My name is Lizzie McLaughlin. I'm a barrister and I'm a public defender here in Newcastle. I love being on my feet, that traditional lawyer role of standing up in court and arguing and talking. But I'm also passionate about making sure that there's a real connection between what I'm doing and what my client has told me to do and what they want. So communicating with the client and communicating with the court are really what I love to do. I'm a very proud alumna of the University of Newcastle. I feel it was a privilege to have done my law degree at Newcastle. And that's because that university, that law school, has a bright line between the study of law and the practice of law that they reveal to you throughout the entire degree. To me, unless I'm able to make a genuine contribution to my local community and to the legal community, not just through my day-to-day work, but in really increasing the diversity of our profession, my studies and my degree have really been for naught. Social justice is important to me, and so is giving back to the community.
I was 17 years old when I started at the University of Newcastle, and I really do credit my time at the University of Newcastle for setting me up for the successful career that I've had to date. I'm Dr. Amon Dupera. I'm a GP and a digital health expert. As a doctor, I see patients on a daily basis, but really the impact that I'm making is more on a system level. I work with a lot of stakeholders in the health system and try and pull all of those different stakeholders together so we can have a coordinated effort in bringing innovation to the healthcare system. We might be able to improve access to healthcare for people who can't physically get somewhere using virtual and remote technology and delivery of healthcare. We might be able to use data better to make sure that we're delivering value-based care that is actually going to make a difference. I'm really driven by this motivation to improve the whole system overall, but also to make the experience for the individual patient sitting in front of me a much better experience for them. If you stay focused, what are you trying to achieve? What does success look like for you? You really can't go wrong, and people can just tell that you're passionate and you're focused and committed in that end outcome. Success for me is making sure that I leave the healthcare system in a better way than how I found it.
Most success is built by thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of mini wins. Success doesn't happen overnight. My name's Mike Exton. I'm head of the cardiovascular business for Novartis Pharmaceuticals. It's one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. I lead the cardiovascular business that discovers, develops, and eventually commercialises medicines in cardiovascular medicine. I was the first person to graduate from university from my family. I'm absolutely a proud alumnus of the University of Newcastle. It really taught me scientific method and how that can lead to great scientific discoveries. The degree has been instrumental in my success. It wasn't a linear path. I took an academic path to start with after doing my PhD. I have a very large team, a couple of thousand people in the US, another 500 or so around the world. And I think the important thing, for leadership and for your life is just to be authentic. Be who you are. People appreciate that. They appreciate the truth. Then you will lead teams that will be right behind you, work hard for you for great success.
University of Newcastle really is a special place. It's a place where anybody can come at any age and study, but also grow their dreams. I'm Tim Roberts, Emeritus Professor in Biology at the University of Newcastle. University of Newcastle has been really a wonderful place to live for most of my life, really. And it's a place where people get a chance to think. It's vital that the country has such places where blue sky research and thinking can be done. I've had the great opportunity to do research as well as to teach, but also to spend time growing other activities for the community. The Hunter Valley Electric Vehicle Festival, Supernova Science Centre that became Newcastle Museum, and more recently I've been able to take students overseas on the new Colombo plan, and that has been just fantastic. I just want to keep working as long as I can. And for me, that is the epitome of my life here at the University of Newcastle.
I think what my time at the University of Newcastle did at a very early stage was help find my voice and who I wanted to be as a creative. I think that's helped me right through my career in being able to choose the work that I want to do and that I'm able to put myself into, and therefore hopefully make the best film or the best series or the best production I can. My name's Glendon Ivan. I'm a film director based in Melbourne, Australia. I grew up in a country town and I knew in the back of my head I wanted to be a filmmaker. I didn't really know what that meant. I just knew I wanted to be part of that world. The more I do in a creative field, the more I realise there's no one path through it. The most important thing that I've realised along the way is that you have to do and find work that you're drawn to personally and be truthful to that. I've been lucky enough to work on projects that I'm really proud of. Penguin Bloom, starring Naomi Watts. I made The Cry for the BBC, and the current project I'm working on is for Amazon worldwide. So it's probably the biggest thing I've worked on, and it's really interesting working at a high level on projects that have scale and reach. We're making them here, but they go all around the world. It's a position I'm really proud of and kind of humbled by.
We can only learn by asking difficult questions. As an expert, you should never stop learning, because that's what makes you an expert. I'm Professor David Newman, and I'm a Professor of Aerospace Medicine at King's College in London, and also an aviation medicine consultant. My research in aviation medicine is a very niche area, and specifically I've been focused on understanding the problems that pilots face in high-performance aircraft, such as exposure to high G-forces, and what effect that might have on them in the short and in the long term. I would say a lot of my success has been due to my PhD studies at the University of Newcastle. Over my career, I've taught thousands of doctors and pilots and accident investigators from all over the world in various aspects of aviation medicine, physiology and human performance. I hope in my career that I've made a positive and lasting contribution to aviation safety, particularly through my efforts in protecting the health and welfare of pilots.